Earthquake. Fire no. Don't deal so far. Me red oh. Don't deal. Oh I.
Family, we have the pleasure of introducing to you Paul Dawkins.
Hi.
First of all, can I thank you for allowing us to interview?
Anytime at all, anytime you're ready.
Please tell the FIRERED family a little bit about you.
Well, where can I start? It goes way back. I started when I was about 15 years old. My cousin George Oban, he was one that actually started the group. He is actually the founder of Aswad, was his name. So he was actually the bass player in Aswad. So when we started, it was me, George Oban, Brinsley Ford from Aswad, and Tony Gay. I was the bass player, George was keyboards, and I think Tony was guitar and Brinsley was guitar. And then what happened was that little band going, because we used to be in the church together in Neasden, that's where we grew up.
Okay. What was your band called?
Well, we didn't have a name at the time.
Okay.
We just started up, and then about a year into it, George had to go back to Jamaica. You're talking back in the early 80s, right about that time. So when he left, he said that he will be coming back. Obviously, once he gets of age, then he knows he's coming back to England, because he left maybe about 16, 17. So then it left me and Brinsley. And we was going around doing talent contest shows. Brinsley on guitar, and I was on lead, and I was on the bass. And we actually won a talent contest down at Brentford Hall. And it was just me and Brinsley, and the guy was just playing drums. He couldn't really play the drums, but we got through. Next we know that Junior English was looking for us. So then what happened was we done an audition for Junior, and then we ended up being Junior English's bass player. And Brinsley was a really good artist, and then we teamed up with John Bagels on drums. We had Graham from the Mohawks. That tune, Let It Be, the first reggae tune. So it shows you how young I was only 15, you know, playing with these guys, and it was like amazing, and everyone was a singer. And we was touring with Junior all over the place. At this time, I didn't realise that Junior was my cousin. I only found that out maybe about 10 years ago.
Okay.
And then that band stopped. I was still dabbling in the music a bit, but still into it. And then George came back and wanted to form up the band again, and so I told him to come down to the rehearsal room. And then at that time, just before George came back, Bob Marley came to live in Neasden. So Delroy Washington brought me and Brinsley around the house, so we was around there every day playing with Bob. Family Man actually was showing me some bass lines. Peter Tosh was there, Bonnie. By the time Bob never had Locks Dunham did. It was, it was a young Bob Marley and the Wailers. And then George came back, and then he wanted to form up a band, and I said to George, you know what, George? Because I used to go to a club called Burton's, and I used to play a lot of lovers rock. At the time, it was like Delroy Wilson, John Holt, Pat Kenner, and I said to myself, my God, I would love to sing like how these guys are singing. Just to see the people holding hands and hugging up in the dance and singing a song. I said, that's what I want to do. So after leaving George, I met some of my colleagues, Paul Thompson, Christopher Henry, Tony Matthews and Leslie McNeil, and they had a little band going. So when I went to the rehearsals, obviously I couldn't get in and play a bass because Christopher was playing the basses already. So I just started to hum along like I normally do from back in the days. And I said, Paul, we never know you could sing. I said, well, I didn't know I could sing really, but he said, come on, you want to join the band? I said, yeah. And from then it just progressed, and I started to sing, work out the harmonies and use a lot of my bass lines within a lot of tradition. Because at the time the group become tradition. So we done songs like Ever Bit My Heart, Breezing, Gambling Man, Walk On By. So many songs we done together. Then we were on tour. I was on tour for about, we signed to RCA first. We was with Venture Records. Then we signed to RCA for 5 years. So we was touring with the Boomtown Rats, Sharadi Wadi, The Cars, Tin Lizzy. So yeah, so we was never really here. We was always touring all over the place. And then what happened was we were together a long time. The band, lots of politics started to drift into the band. As you got more into the music, you realise that it's not just about the music, it's all about the business side of it.
Yeah.
And that's what we were lacking, the business side of it, like a lot of artists over here.
Yeah.
Because the music took over our minds, we were just interested in making lovers rock songs and doing what we do, not thinking about the paperwork and the signing. And to this day, it still affected us to this day.
Yeah.
Loss of earnings because we didn't know what was happening, you know, the producers and stuff like that. And then I started to drift a bit and start to do stuff like with Arawak Records, To Love Someone, Patrick Can. Done a whole album with him actually, with Dennis Bobel. To Love Someone, that was me and Dennis Bobel doing that song together. Dennis Bobel was actually doing all the harmonies.
Okay.
And Angus Gay, Tony Robinson, we were still, as a team, still working together behind the scenes in the studio. So Angus and Tony and George Robin, they never really left my side, and Paul Thompson. We were always there, making songs together.
Yeah.
Jordan, Walk On By, No Man's an Island, lots of stuff, and I done Go Find Yourself a Fool as well for him. Then I went to DAWKINS Records, and then obviously Natural Woman came around, Little Girl, and it just progressed from there. And then I just went solo. I left the group, Tradition, because of the politics again.
Okay.
You know, because I start to realise that, hold on, something's not right here. So I think I need to go, not amongst the guys, because we're still friends to this day, but I said, you know, I need to branch out and try and get a name for myself. So it took me, I think, about 15 years to get my name as Paul Dawkins. Because I'd go on stage and they say, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Paul Dawkins. And they're like, who's Paul Dawkins? But when I start to sing my songs now, they go, oh, you're the guy who, because obviously I was with Tradition, so they didn't really know who Paul Dawkins was. Even to this day, when I do shows, people come and say, now I can put the face to the record. So you see how long it's still taking me to get that recognition, and that song's been out so many years, Natural Woman. You know, but and today I'm still going as Paul Dawkins and trying to build it up. As I'm getting old, I'm still trying to build my name more and more and more and more.
You say trying, but it's how it's working.
Yeah, it's all about the work. You know, I can't give up. I still do my ordinary day work, but my music is my life now.
Yeah.
Whether the money's there or not, I wouldn't say it's there, but it's come part of me. Just like
It's your passion.
it's my passion now. So, and it's the public out there what's kept my songs going. So I give thanks to all the public out there who's kept Paul Dawkins, A Natural Woman, To Love Someone, Damn It, all those tunes alive. Because it's not just me. Because without them, those tunes are nothing. So I'd like to thank all of you again for keeping me going. Yeah.
Can I ask you, what was your first release?
My first release was a song called Why Oh Why, and that was with Tradition.
Okay.
Yeah, first release, Why Oh Why.
And your first album?
My first album, that was with Tradition, but my first album, I couldn't really say it was an album. It was on the DAWKINS Records, but it wasn't an album. And I'm going to be frank, there was never an HEPTICS album.
Okay.
I was doing Little Girl, Natural Woman, some other songs. Then we had Sonia Ferguson was in the camp. Yeah, Jeffrey Liscott. And he was doing songs, we done songs like Mind Blowing Decision, the first reggae version of Mind Blowing Decision. Then Heatwave came back and we had another one after we did. Susie Wong. And then when I moved away from Delroy, he actually put that LP together and called it HEPTICS LP. It was never a HEPTICS LP.
Okay.
Some of the tracks on that, if you listen to some of the tracks, they weren't even mixed to say that, you know, that's how it should have been, like guide voices. So he put that whole album together and called it HEPTICS LP. Because what happened was, and I can talk about now, when I was signed to RCA, I didn't want no friction between RCA, Tradition and Venture Records. So because Daryl was my friend, I was helping him, so I said, Daryl, look, whatever you do, don't put my name as Paul Dawkins as title, just put the HEPTICS. I've always had that name, singing with three guys, and so I used that name. And to be frank, what happened next, when the record did come out, I saw Paul Dawkins, I saw HEPTICS, but when I looked at the writing side of it, I saw D. Witter, and I went, whoa, what's going on here? And to this day, it's still a bit conflict over that right now, because I'm not getting my rights for the record. And he's saying he wrote it when I wrote it. You know? But that's how it goes in the business. But conflicts, you're gonna get that. But that's not stopping me from still going out there and doing what I need to do. It's on the side, they're still bubbling on the side, but that'll be sorted out sooner or later. But you know, just keep forwarding and going down the road.
Yeah, definitely. How did your family feel about your career choice?
Well, my dad, I kept saying, well, he used to see me with my little guitar rehearsing all the time, and I said to my dad, you know, I want to do music and stuff like that, and he was very supportive. I think he actually gave me the first month so I can go and buy a little amp so I could plug my bass guitar in. So, you know, that's what my dad done for me and my mum. So I thank them for supporting me. Although I was at my bedroom making a noise, they never knocked on the door one. I said, Paul, turn it down. Because I had to respect it at the same time. Young ones, that when you're in your parents' house, you do,
see them not
you learn very quickly without them telling you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I kept it down low, and then that was it. And my sisters, I got 7 sisters and 1 brother, and they just see me as Paul. I'm no different than just their brother. And that's it.
Who or what inspired you to write, and who were your colleagues at the time?
Well, I said I was around the tradition guys, Leslie Matney, Paul Thompson, Christopher Henry, and Tony Matthews. Me and Paul, we was always, because we actually lived in Venture Records, believe it or not. We had a room upstairs, and we just takes one of us to hum something, and we go, Paul said, what's that? And I go, let's go downstairs. So 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, we'll be just putting the whole thing together, and say, yeah, that's, and the next day when everybody comes along, we'd play. But most of my songs, Damn It, To Love Someone, Natural Woman, I'm gonna be honest, I've never actually put pen to paper. They've always been one takes.
Okay, that's cool.
Natural Woman was just one take, just came out of my head. To Love Someone, Dennis Bobwell said to me one day, Paul, have you got a song? And I said, I haven't really got nothing. And we just started to play the guitar, and I love the chords. I'll just start to sing, Is That the Way? And he said, right, let's record it. And we recorded it the same day and finished it the same day. Damn It was the same thing again. I was in the studios, went along to Sonia Perkins' session, and while I was in there, the engineer he was looking for a track, and he stopped at that track, and I heard a track, and I said to him, hey, can I put something on that? And he goes, what, you got something? I said, yeah, I think so. I went inside, put the headphones on, I said, hey, whatever you do, please record it. And as he said, red light, I started singing from top to bottom. I never did go back and sing it again. I said, run back the tape, put some harmonies on it. I came out, and I could see him sitting in the room like this, going, talking to the guys, and I came out, and he looked at me and goes, Paul, where have you heard this track before? I said, I've never heard it. He just shook his head and go, I can't believe that. How did you know where the structure was going to go? I said, well, the way how you're playing it, I could feel that's where you were going to go. And that's how most of my songs have come along, including Natural Woman.
That's a skill.
Natural Woman, from a vibe. Yeah, I've got emphasis on that. I've got to let people know I am the sole writer.
Your music has taken you around the world. Which countries have you performed in, and are there any that are memorable to you?
Well, we've done the whole of the continent. We've done everywhere. We was away like 6 months at a time, touring all over with Boomtown Rats, Shawadi Wadi. Wherever their companies wanted us to go, they'd actually ask for us. For us to come and open up the show for them. Went down to Jamaica with One Step Consultancy, Every Child Matters. We went down to Jamaica, myself, Audrey Scott, Donna Marie, Winsome, and oh God, if I'm forgetting the name, please forgive me. And Frederica, went out to Jamaica, and we've done Ocean 11. And it was good, it was successful, very good, To raise money for the kids in Jamaica and the schools.
Please tell the FIRERED family about your collaborations and your favourite songs.
Collaborations, 4 in a row. Tex Johnson, I met him in Hazen, Starlight Records, and I didn't know who he was, and he didn't know who I was until Pops said, Paul, and he said, mentioned Dawkins, and then Tex said to me, oh, I'm Tex Johnson. I said, what's happening, Tex? And we started to talk, and Tex said, Tex, why don't we get together and do something? He goes, well, what are you thinking of? I said, well, let's get 2 other guys and see if we can put some songs together. So at the time I was working with Keith Douglas and Tony Douglas, Cool Down Amina, and he said, all right, he'll get to Dennis Pinnock. But by that time, Dennis Pinnock was in our camp already with Tradition. So we said, so we sat down at George Ogden's house, and Kyle, if you know Kyle, the guitarist, and we came up with Love Is, and that took off. And then one day we was round by Keith's house, and we were sitting down ready to go and do a show. And then the vibe just came into my head, and I started to sing, it's a crazy kind of love. And next thing I know, everybody joined in. And then Keith came out and goes, sometimes you give me the blues. And by the time Keith had finished, everybody had their
sections.
Their section, and within a week we went back to studio with Kyle, and it was finished within an hour.
Wow.
So that's one of my favourite get together with other musicians, you know.
Would you mind sharing the current struggles a recording artist shares? I know you shared a few of them, like rights.
Well, there's so many artists out there now who I think are still fighting to get back their rights for some of their songs. They're still doing paperwork to this day, PRS, MCPS. Whether there's money still out there standing, I don't know. But I'm just trying to get all my stuff back together now. I've been in contact with some of the PRS members, and they're sending me some documentation and redoing everything. They're trying to track all my songs, and I'm trying to track some. There's things that I didn't even know what was happening within PRS, because they said, Paul, who is such and such? And I went, what are you talking about? I go, well, they seem to have your catalogue, and I go, well, I don't know nothing. So I had to give a written statement to say, look, these people know we have that no dealings. So this is what a lot of artists don't know, whether it's Jamaica, wherever in the world, England, your songs are out there and people are using them, and you don't realise that even if it's a penny, it's still a penny.
Yeah.
If it's 10 pence, it's still 10 pence.
Yeah.
And they're still making money. I mean, I went on the website and saw To Love Someone, a Natural Woman in Japan selling. And I'm going, so I phoned Pat, he doesn't know anything about it. So somebody's out there who's using their brains and going, look, we can make money because it's not out there. But what can you do? It's just like, you know, people are running off videos and buying pirate videos on the road back in the days. That's how far it's gone. So what can you do? How can you trap?
Have you been surprised by the response that you get from your supporters?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
And why?
How can I put it? That's when I go back to that same time when I was in the club and see all those guys, hear them guys singing, Delroy Wilson and singing, and everybody was hugging up, everybody was singing along. I said, that's what I want to do. When I made Natural Woman and those songs, I wasn't even thinking it was going to go that far. Until when I went out, and when I sing my songs now, I can let them sing a verse. That's what I've started to do now. I'll sing the chorus and I let them sing a verse, or I sing the verse and let them do the chorus, and they're always behind me. And I think once you make a song like that from back in the days, you've actually, maybe even if it's one song as a Lovers Rock artist, you only need to make one good song and that will carry you through for 30, 40 years. And that's why I said the public out there, when I go to sing my songs, I'm not worried, I don't get butterflies, because I know that they know my songs, so I know they're going to sing along, just for me to enjoy it with them and they enjoy it with me.
Yeah. What artists do you listen to?
All of them. I listen to.
Give me a few.
I love Pat Kelly. I love Delroy Wilson, John Holt. There's so many, Gregory Isaac. I even listen to my own colleagues, Carol Thompson, Janet Cave, Victor. Whoever's got tracks out there, you know, some of my close friends out there, most of my friends have got good tracks, and when I hear them, I tell them to their face, that's a good tune.
Which is what a lot of people need to do.
Yeah, because no artist, as far as I'm concerned, is bigger than the other artist. So if you hear something, I praise it. Peter Honeygale. When Peter does a track, I say, Peter, listen, man, that track is going to mash up the place.
Yeah.
You know, so I show them respect all the way along. Winston Reedy, you know, you got the Trevor Waters out there, you got the Michael Gordons out there, you got the Mike Anthonys, you got Tradition, and I rate all their music because we're all good singers in our own field.
And on top of that, British need to support British.
Yeah, and British need to support British. They do, and
do you think so?
It to a certain extent. I mean, okay, what I find out that even when we make our new songs, to get them played on the radio, that's what needs to be done. When you go out to the dances and the parties and wherever, the Christmas, wherever, they need to be played constantly, because that's how we bought our music many years ago. You had Steve Barnard. I can mention you all the other ones as well, but Steve Barnard, I can remember when he used to play every Sunday, it was only him one. Then you had Tony Williams coming after, and you'd go out to the clubs and hear the songs, and you'd hear Steve Barnard playing on Sunday. They were making hits and keeping the industry going and going, but now it's like, wow, where's it gone? We've got hardly no record shops left. So how do we get our music out there? What do we do? You've got the internet, you've got the internet. A lot of us, what we're doing is we're running off our CDs, and then we're going to our shows, and then trying to sell the CDs while we do our shows.
Yeah.
But a lot of them now, you won't even have CD players. Because sometimes I go and do a show, and when I go to my CD, I go, here's my CD, guy goes, I ain't got a CD player. Wow.
It's true.
I start to panic, I go, what do you mean? He goes, no, you got a stick. And I went, stick? And I start to panic, but now obviously I've got all my stuff downloaded onto a stick, so I carry it in my pocket. So instead of having a big CD in my coat now, hoping that I don't break it, I just got a little stick in my pocket, and it works. So it shows you how technology has moved on, and at the same time it will leave the music behind. Because how many people are going to buy CDs? Only people, connoisseurs, will go and buy a 45 or a disco because they got a deck. How many people plays their music on a deck now? How many people play CDs? They go on the internet and they press play, and you've got everything coming. Like you can walk away and leave the computer and everything's been played. So how do we sell our music? Where do we go with it?
Yeah, it's true.
You know?
What have you got currently in the pipeline?
Well, I've got some stuff at the moment. Everybody's telling me off. From Barry Boom, Pete Gale, Bubblers. Everybody's telling me off. There's quite a few people who's got tracks for me to do. I've done them and half finished some of them. But because of how life is going, it's just a matter of getting time to get back to the studios, to get them finished off. It's in my mind, but you know, life, how it is right now, is holding back so much of me getting into the studios to finish up. I've got one or two stuff what are finished, so I'm just waiting to get them finished off. I've got some with a group called, they're up in Scotland, High Foundation. Yeah, what's that? It's a white group and they're brilliant. Really, really good. I've got a track with them. I've done a track with Bubblers. Peter Hanningale, I know Peter, you're going to tell me off, but I got a track with Peter as well, ready to do. Every time my phone says, Paul, you got the track to come and finish off. So Peter, when I get to you. Because I live so far away, to come down to London and get them all done, but they will be coming out soon.
And also, we know, as we're backstage at Brixton Hill Studios now,
Right.
Giants of Lovers Rock.
Yep, Giants of Lovers Rock, yep.
How are you looking forward to that?
Every time, every year, whether I'm on the show or not, I still go.
Yeah.
But so far, every year, I think it's only one year I've never been on the show. And there was one year when I didn't see my name on it. I said to Orlando, what's going on, mate? He said, Paul, the show. I said, Orlando, listen to me. I don't want no money. I'll open the show. Orlando goes, all right, Paul. And that was it.
Yeah.
It's not about who goes on first, who goes on last. But Giants of Lovers Rock, to me, that's one of the biggest things right now. And you know, I have to pick up Orlando and all these staff behind all of the Lovers Rock at the Giants of Lovers Rock. And I hope it keeps going and you guys come and support it over and over, because without you, we can't do what we're doing. And it's a pleasure to come down there and to be on the bill.
Yeah.
And to be singing along with my other colleagues on the show, you know, and it's amazing when you look around and see the kind of different people from different, you know, sections of life and age and colour, and it's beautiful. And it all come for one thing, to hear the Lovers Rock artists.
This year's different though, isn't it?
Yeah, this year's different. Orlando's brought in some soul artists.
Yeah.
And to me, it's a good thing, because what a lot of people don't understand, and I'm going to tell them this now, a lot of the stuff, what we've covered from Jamaica to London, a lot of the stuff that you hear, you might think they're original songs by some of us Love Rock artists. No, it's coming from America. And a lot of these artists are out there, and if Orlando brings them, you can actually hear them singing their own songs, maybe in reggae.
Yeah.
And to me...
Like Gene Khan last
Yeah, but Gene Khan, exactly. And to me, that's a great thing. Because we've been covering their songs for so many years. Listen to their songs for so... I mean, I love the Whispers. And I've got a Whisper song coming out. Right? And if they were to come over, obviously, they most probably sing that song in reggae if it went to that level.
Yeah.
Why not? Because I'm listening to them.
Yeah.
So it's going to be good. It's going to be good.
How can the FIRERED family keep in contact with you?
Oh, I've got my email. You can get my email. And obviously by phone as well.
Can you tell us what your email is?
Yeah, it's BancroftDawkins at AOL.com.
Bancroft.
Yeah, BANCROFDAWKINS at AOL.com. Where you can find
And
me.
what social media sites can
Pardon?
you find? What social media sites can you
Well,
find?
only on I'm on Facebook at the moment and on WhatsApp. Those are the only two I'm doing at the moment. I've got some friends trying to do with Twitter, and Twitter, I don't know those things enough, so I'm trying to get. I've got people who are dealing with them things, the younger ones. So that's what's happening at the moment.
Right. Can I ask you to sing a song of your choice, but can I ask you to put FIRERED?
Okay, let me see what I can do. Is there a place, little girl? Is there a place in your heart for me? FIRERED. I never know you didn't love me right from the start. You should have told me all this time. You kept it from me until now. You wanna tell me FIRERED every time. FIRERED.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It's been amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. and enjoy the show on Saturday.
Yes,
Hope
will
you'll be
do.
there, yeah? Backstage, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.